大家好，分享投资小知识的 Slow Loli 又来咯，欢迎来到雪萝莉的频道。2020年第二季度的财报基本都已经出来了，很多公司在第二季度或多或少都会增加债务。这里有一部分的原因是因为现在利率低，借贷成本下降，但更主要的原因是公司为了度过这艰难时期，不得不增加负债。现在公司债务越来越多，债务危机又要来了吗？那么银行对于这些债务的追回率将会有多少呢？在彭博社的一个访问中，在 Global Co-Leader 中负责 Turnaround and Restructuring Service 服务的 Lisa Dunhill 是这样回答的。
Predicting debt recoveries is not something that I don't think anybody really wants to do, but what I will say is I was reading an analysis about the typical recovery time post a recession, and it is averaging somewhere around 3 to 3.5 years to get back to equilibrium. And when I say equilibrium, I mean kind of normal operating back to pre-pandemic, pre-recession levels. So if you think about a 3-year period to get back to where you were before, whatever you were doing from a manufacturing operational perspective, I don't necessarily think that the recoveries are going to be less than prior recessions, but I do think people are going to have to be patient, and people are going to have to be creative, and people are going to have to recognize that this is something that we've never seen before, and that the strong companies will come out on the other side, and smart management teams will proactively look for ways to extend their runway and to manage through a lower productive environment to get to profitability on the other side.
当被问到是否担心越来越多的公司为了度过这次经济危机而借更多的债的时候，他是这样回答的。
I'm less concerned with companies that are doing that, because in order to preserve their value and in order to get to the other side, they need liquidity. And the capital markets are very frothy right now. There's a lot of liquidity out there. So I would say looking at not just the amount of debt, but how their debt behaves. What kind of debt they have, how long-term it is, how prompt it is, when their maturities are, what sort of flexibility they have built into their debt. Now, obviously, too much debt is never a good thing, but I've talked with a good deal of CFOs and CEOs of healthy companies that did proactively go out and raise capital with the intent of managing their cash so that when they do get to the other side and it is clearer on what's going to happen, they can quickly pay it back down and delever. So it's not a question of issuing debt for debt's sake. It's a question of getting the flexibility that you need from a liquidity perspective to weather through whatever time period we're looking at with this pandemic.
我们从这位大拿中可以看出，这样的债务问题对于盈利稳定、财务健康有盈余的公司不会产生很大的问题，但还是会有很大一部分的公司会湮灭在这段航程中。因此，这也是为什么现阶段盈利稳定、手中现金充足的5大科技巨头成为了投资者聚集的地方。对于这段期间的选择，我们更应该注重公司的基本面，寻找公司盈利稳定、财务健康，在未来3年内能有稳定资金流的公司进行投资。这也是投资界传奇人物格雷厄姆在美国经济大萧条期间撰写在证券分析上的投资指南。只有这样的优质资产才有机会安稳地度过这个资本寒冬，从而引动下一波爆发。好了，这期视频就到这里了，希望这期视频对大家有所帮助。如果大家对于现在公司的债务和银行业的贷款有什么看法呢？可以在视频下方留言区留言哦。谢谢大家观看，萝莉也要回去充电哦。滴